Hi there, it's Margot, and I've got a little feel-good thing I'd like to share with you. A friend of mine has a sinus infection, and I thought I had a YouTube video about how to give yourself a self-massage when you are feeling a little under the weather, and I can't find it, so I thought, well, I'll just make another one. So here we go. So I'm not going to go into a big long explanation about my feel-good way, but in short terms, it's the things that I learned to help me take me from fight or flight or not feel good into rest and digest, or yes, feel goody. And I've been a massage therapist for about 20 years, and I do a self massage every single day. In fact, I do this massage I'm about to show you every day, whether I feel like I have a sinus infection or not. And I just couldn't live without it. So I'm going to start with the head, and we're just going to do half of the head to start with. And one of the things that I like to show is good technique. So one of the things that makes it easier for me to give a lot of massages is I support one hand with the other hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to put, I'm going to do the right side of my head, and I'm going to do it with my left hand. So I'm going to put my left hand, and my fingers are kind of like in a claw but stiff, right in the center of the middle of my head. Then I'm going to put the other hand on top of it. And that second hand, yes, it does add a little more pressure, but I think more what really makes it work better is that it is actually completing an energy circuit so that it all works better. So then you're going to plant your fingers just in that one place, and then without moving them on the surface of your head, you're just going to wiggle your fingers up and down, which will actually move the skin away from the pressure and away from the muscle and bone and fascia and stuff below. Then you're going to move it to the next spot and do it again. And then a little closer to the ear and do it again. And a little closer to the ear and do it again. And a little closer to the ear until you get right there behind the ear. Then you're going to move up a notch and work back towards the center of your head in the same way. So you're just planting it and moving your whole hand. You're not moving your hand away from the surface of your scalp. You're actually moving everything underneath the scalp. My teacher in massage school said you should not hear your hair when you're giving a head massage. So and now I just moved back to the ear again, and now I'm working up another notch to the center of my head. And then sometimes once I get to that next spot is I go ahead and shift, so now my hand is in front of me instead of behind me. I'm working back towards the ear and then back to the center of the head. And now I'm going to work really good the hairline down to the ear, up over the ear, scratch along the base of the skull. Now you're going to scratch it and really get that good a few times along the edge of the skull. And now we're going to just pull all that down. Oh my God, that feels so good. So pull it down your neck towards your collarbone. And in fact, go ahead and have your fingers rest on your collarbone and lift your shoulders a couple times. So you're not digging in with your fingers, they're just resting there. And that kind of like primes the pump of the lymphatic system so that it's got a clear path into your heart. Oh, man. And now really compare the difference between the side of your head you did and the side you didn't do. Right? Big difference. And also put your attention in, let's say, your thighs. Does the side on the side that you did feel different than the side you didn't do? I can feel it all the way to my feet. All this side of my body feels different than the other side. It's really true. I just love it. Okay, so now we're going to do half of the face. So normally I would use both of my hands like this, but I really want you to feel the difference between the side when we're done. So instead of, you're going to just bring your fingers up into go ahead and put your hand on your elbow and put your fingertips on the hairline and work down towards the ear. And now with the pads of your fingers, just make circles across your forehead from the center down your temples. And then see how your pointing finger is kind of in this groove in front of your ear? Go ahead and let it drag all that down. Now, with your fingers kind of like pokey, just I'm using this part of my thumb is actually poking my eyes. And I'm pinching my eyebrows out to the side and then dragging it down. Now with the forefinger, we're again going to push against the eyeball. Do not press against the bone. There is a nerve that goes through there, but you can go ahead and press against the eyeball out to the temples and then drag that down. And if you don't feel comfortable the way I just showed you, think about how you rub your eyes in the morning. Maybe just do it like that. But remember to get that groove in front of the ear. And now you're going to poke around the side of your nose and you'll feel this ridge. Oh, if anybody had told you I was going to have you massaging your nose today, you would have been like, no way. And then follow that around, and then right there, that's your sinus point. If that makes you go, ah, that means you've got a sinus infection. If it's not super sore, it just means you've got sinus stuff going on. Big difference between infection and other viruses and stuff that you have. An emergency room doctor taught me that trick. If it makes you want to scream just with a little touch there, you need antibiotics. If it doesn't, you don't. So now we're going to press up. There's a bone that goes up your cheekbone. That's called the zygomatic process. We're going to press up on that till we get to the ear. Smooth out our mustache and wipe off our chin. All of it towards the ear and then down. And then underneath your chin, very lightly, go along the chin bone and just like you're dragging stuff down your throat to your collarbone. And now wash that whole side of your face and drag it down. And now we're gonna do the neck real good. And again, I've got my fingers in that claw shape, and we're just gonna get all those. We're doing it pretty much the same way we did it on the head, where we just plant our fingers and get in there. And then you can use the second hand to push your elbow back and see how far down my shoulders I can get. Might as well get all the way out to here. And then press underneath your collarbone and now drag all that down. Okay, now just rest for a minute. And now put your attention in your head and neck and shoulders. Go ahead and take a sniff and see if one side cleared up. Even though I didn't have any kind of any kind of head problems going on, just because I did that, this whole side feels so much clearer. And the other side, even when I sniff, this side now feels kind of clogged up. And I didn't even think it was clogged up before we started. But in comparison to how clear this other side is, it's really, and then just throughout your day, you can do mild versions of this. So down the back of the neck, down towards, just kind of like you're washing your head and washing your face, and then pull it down. And then look at how cool your hair looks like when you get done, right? Ta-da! Oh, I hope you feel better, Stephanie, and to anybody else out there with a stuffy head, I hope this really helps you. Mwah. MyFeelGoodWay.com, Margot Gunther Facebook, My Feel Good Way Facebook, and don't forget My Feel Good Way on TikTok. Love you. Adios.